If, instead of rebooting movies, it became a trend to retell them from a different character's perspective, what film would you want to see retold and from whose point of view? Truman Show, but it follows a group of extras just trying to force themselves into Truman's life so they can be reoccurring characters. Based on how many times I've watched The Truman Show and EdTV, I'd probably watch that obsessively. Captain Hook retelling the story of Peter Pan. The tale of Hook rescuing a bunch of kidnapped children by a psychopathic demigod that tricks children into following him into a war against adults. King Kong from King Kong's perspective. Bonus points if there are subtitles for his roars. If it's from his POV, he should speak, so we would understand and everyone else talk gibberish. Willy Wonka from the point of view of an Oompa Loompa who is working to ignite a slave rebellion amongst his people. Hot Fuzz, but from the perspective of the neighborhood watch. From the perspective of the Swan. There is a hilarious recut of the Mrs. Doubtfire trailer that sells the movie as the harrowing tale of a divorced wife and her new boyfriend being stalked by an obsessive cross-dressing ex-husband. Chilling. John Wick would become a horror film. There's a couple scenes where he just comes off as this horrible unstoppable machine. A whole movie of that would be wild. Foot soldiers pissing themselves because they know Wick is gonna murk them, but they have no option but to die fighting. Top Gun from Iceman's perspective. Maverick's the asshole in that movie. Maverick is the asshole in the original movie too. Mulan from Captain Li Shang's point of view. He starts having feelings for one of his soldiers, thinking he's gay. Then he finds out that Ping is actually a girl in disguise. Good news, I'm not gay. Bad news, I'm supposed to chop her head off. There is a Chinese story similar to this called Butterfly Lovers, and there is an old musical version of it. Beauty and the Beast from Gaston's perspective. They show him as a lad eating 4 dozen eggs every morning to help him get large. Titanic, anyone in the poor section. There is a novel about it called SOS, and it's amazing. I mean, technically the star of the movie Titanic was in the poor section, he just found and banged a girl who wasn't. Saving Private Ryan from Private Ryan's point of view. It's most just him slogging in the army until Captain Miller shows up. It should be a war movie with a guy named Private Ryan. The movie doesn't allude to the fact that it's the same Private Ryan. Maybe Private Ryan is sort of a supporting cast type. Then towards the end, Tom Hanks shows up and tells him his brothers are dead and he's being called back. It would be cool. Coraline, but the cat's or YB's view. YB is pretty much just Coraline's inner monologue given physical presence, so she wouldn't spend half the movie talking to herself. She spends a lot of the book kind of in her own head. Shrek from Donkey's perspective, you know, the dragon and stuff. I'm sure there is a fan fiction of that. Nice try, producers. Think of your own ideas or pay the people you get the ideas from. I think they've succeeded. Air Bud, but from the perspective of the kid who got cut from the team for a golden retriever. This is the best one. Captain America, First Avenger, Captain America, Winter Soldier told in Bucky's. Or First Avenger from Howard Stark's point of view. We could see him meet the Doctor, build the machine, get that Wakanda material, and then post the Captain find the Tesseract while searching for him. I'll say Robin Hood from the Sheriff of Nottingham's perspective. It'd be great to watch a movie about a medieval cop trying to catch a highwayman. We almost had that one. The Russell Crowe version was supposed to be that, but the studio wanted to play it safe. Ever since Disney gave us the Maleficent movies, I've been dying for more villain origin stories. I think in particular I'd love to see Gaston. I have to know what circumstances led to this dude being a massive prick. Shawshank from the guard's perspective. Who, the guy that almost dropped Andy off a roof and shot that kid that had just earned his GED. That guy was almost as bad as the warden himself, maybe even worse. It would be interesting to see how a person can get that okay with corruption. An ode to the Milgram experiment. Probably Back to the Future. Doc's perspective would be amazing to see. Might be a bit confusing though with the time thing. That would be good, told chronologically from his perspective, from the first time he met Marty in the 50s until the second time. Labyrinth. Just for more Goblin King. Maybe retold from one of his minions' perspectives, as it took care of mischievous baby brother. Can't do it without David Bowie and his codpiece. Castaway, but from the perspective of Wilson. So, pretty much the same but filmed 1 meter to the left the whole time? Count Ruggin, how much were you bullied as a child because of your 6 fingers? Do you feel that has a bearing on how you turned out as an adult? My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.